development circles around the world, primary education in India is a hotly debated topic. Recently, the Probe Report, or Public Report on Basic Education for India, has shed some light on the issue. In the survey, 98% of respondents believed it important for a boy to be educated, and 89% believed a girl should be educated. Despite gender discrepancies, 80% believed primary education should be made compulsory for all children. There's a clear demand for education, but are schools adequately serving these needs? That does not seem to be the case in much of India. According to the report, many of India's primary schools are in bad shape. 59% have no drinking water, 77% have no library, 26% have no blackboard in every classroom, and 89% do not even have a usable toilet. Though on paper, of course, all these schools have everything they need for children to learn. If schools do not have basic facilities available, it seems unlikely that parents would be willing to send their children to school. This is especially true for girls. What parent would send their girl child to school if they knew that they would have to defecate in public and had no access to any water or safe means to get to and from school? Corruption is a huge issue as well. Almost all public schools in India charge fees, when primary education, being a right, should be provided for free. According to the Probe survey, most children have to pay an average of 318 to 478 rupees. For those who live at a rupee or less per day, payment of these fees is little more than unrealistic. Teachers are engaged in teaching activities only 25% of the time and are absent 33% of the time, and are engaged in other activities 42% of the time. Based upon this data, there seems to be a serious issue of teachers not performing their duties adequately, thereby severely impacting educational quality. A child cannot learn much if the teacher doesn't show up a third of the time, and when they do, only teaches a quarter of the time. Caste discrimination comes into play as well. In many schools, Dalit children are commonly victimized by upper caste teachers. However, since the Probe Report, the Indian government has taken some steps to improve education at the primary level. The major initiatives are the Campaign for Universal Education, the Midday Meal Scheme, parent-teacher schemes, and private-public partnerships in education. Overall, these programs seem to be mostly ineffective. The Campaign for Universal Education is a major program put in place by the government to enroll out-of-school children and improve school quality. Under the campaign, additional teachers are hired to reduce the pupil-teacher ratio to 40:1. It establishes alternative schools and education guarantee scheme schools, block or cluster-level resource centers, bridge courses for dropouts, in-service training for teachers, grants for teaching learning materials, free textbooks to all female and low-caste students, special facilities for girls, and grants to districts to support students with disabilities. The campaign also funds capacity building, technical support, financial management, and monitoring and evaluation at the national level. These appear to be significant changes which provide incentives for children to return to school and for girls and lower caste children to remain in school, while ensuring administration will do everything to ensure these schools run well. According to independent investigations, it appears that these impacts were the greatest for low caste children, and especially girls, yet these differences did not appear to be significant. The midday meal scheme provides all children in government and government-assisted primary school with a prepared midday meal. The scheme is nearly universal in all states. The government provides grains, transportation, food preparation costs, while the state provides the physical infrastructure to cook the meals. There are issues of food quality and corruption. However, it appears that school enrollment has increased directly after the introduction of the program. Whether or not it has improved the child's ability and desire to learn is unclear, yet the widespread adoption of the program is a major achievement in and of itself. Parent teachers are untrained teachers who receive a lower salary, about 1/5 to 1/2 of the government teacher rate. The goal of the program is to expand schooling in a low-cost way to small hamlets which are unserved by regular government schools, and to increase the number of instructors in single-teacher schools and to reduce high pupil-teacher ratios. Increasing the number of unqualified teachers seems like a questionable prospect, even though it alleviates budget issues with providing the fully needed number of teachers. Again, it seems like the government is concerning itself with the statistics on paper while not truly addressing the issue in a proper way. Under the scheme, they do, however, have the possibility of being more accountable than their qualified counterparts due to closer community involvement in them being hired and the fact that their contracts are short-term. Overall, it appears to be too early on in the scheme to make a clear judgment on whether the scheme will prove effective. The public-private partnership system is one in which the government provides aid to privately managed schools. Over time, these aided schools have begun to resemble government schools. Because their teachers are paid the same uniform salary rates government school teachers receive, and are recruited by a government-appointed selection committee rather than by the school. This scheme does not appear to be particularly effective, since the educational quality is similar to government schools and significantly lower than private schools. Unlike other countries which employ a voucher scheme to enable parental choice in what school the child goes to, whether public or private, India has not seriously debated the possibility, likely due to the lobbying of interest groups. Currently, the Right to Education Bill proposes a new form of public-private partnership in which all private schools give 25% of their places to government-paid students from disadvantaged homes, and the government would pay the schools directly. This revision holds promise, since it would directly increase the number of lower caste and poor children enrolled in private schools, thereby giving them the same exposure to higher quality education normally reserved for the affluent. Regardless, until corruption can be eliminated from the Indian educational, governmental, and judiciary system, there will be little scope for improvement. Yet, NGOs and civil groups have begun to make small changes to the system, so hope does remain for the future.